And I used to have this lump on my face. I've had a few things cut off from my face because I'm so fair. Um, and I thought, oh, I don't want to go to the doctor again and, have it taken out, whatever. But it's gone. It's gone.
Jeannie, how did you find carnivore?
Well, it was purely by accident, really. But as a bit of a backstory to my life, um, I actually ate quite a lot of meat as a kid. Most of our meals had some sort of meat. It was like meat and three veg, I guess you could say. Although Mum loved to really kill the cow. It was usually really well done. But none of us knew anything about proper nutrition or anything like that. I'm just glad I wasn't brought up vegan/vegetarian. I don't even think I knew. I don't think vegan was invented back then, to be honest. So that was my childhood, and into my 20s, it was probably the standard sort of diet. I wasn't doing anything weird or anything like that. I never needed to lose a lot of weight like other people have. I was actually quite a skinny kid. I never remember having a totally flat belly though. But there was a lot of sugary drinks involved in my diet as a kid, so it wasn't totally healthy at all either. Um, but yeah, so my 20s, I kept pretty slim. No major health issues at all, except I had this weird lump. You probably can't see it on camera, so I probably won't bother. But I had this lump growing on my left hand, and it started to grow out back of my hand for who knows what reason. It's got a long scientific name, but I don't know. They did an exploratory surgery, but they didn't want to do anything too
Just,
severe in case
just
they
to, sorry to interrupt, but so it started here.
you
Oh,
probably
now
see
it's
the
growing out the other side. Wow, wow.
there's actually a lump in my palm. Oh, you can see it. A hard lump in my palm, and this puffy thing there. So that started when I was 21, and I've had it looked at a few times, and no cure. As I said, surgery was dangerous, so I used to use a lot of Voltaren, but unless I really use my left arm, because my left arm feels weak all over. So if I really exercise this left arm, it can get sore. So it's definitely connected to the nerves. But yeah, why that happened is, yeah, I do not know. So I think even if carnivore helped that, it would be a miracle, I think. So anyway, uh, in my early 30s, I broke up a 10-year relationship, which was really hard. Then in my early 30s, I got into a 2-year relationship. And when that broke up, for some reason, that spiraled me into a huge dark night of the soul, which lasted for years. And that's when I dealt with all my childhood stuff. And but I also got into the grog very badly and food very badly. And it was funny because my girlfriend at the time, yes, I'm one of those people, we used to have not boiled, sorry, steamed veggies. She was healthy. Steamed veggies was a very common meal, like boring as batshit. But but we thought it was healthy, of course, so we went with it. But yeah, so, and at the time, a couple of my friends got divorced and we all partied hard, very hard party. But I was so down, um, dealing with stuff that I was even suicidal at times. It was pretty bad. Um, and I also had bad PMT, that girly stuff. And the doctor put me on a diet of she actually said I could eat meat, which I was still doing, but she also put me on things like quinoa and buckwheat and stuff that I thought, what do I do with this? Like, is this even food?
There's another thing that wasn't invented until recently.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So I still hadn't heard of veganism. I think vegetarian was around then. Um, but my friends tried to go keto because they actually did have a fair bit of weight to lose, but it was pretty hard for them because luckily I love meat, and especially my best friend, she doesn't like meat apart from the moral. She's vegan now actually, but she never liked meat, hated the smell of it cooking, etc. So she was never going to do this. Um, so pushing, and I never felt satisfied when I had a meal without meat. I always seemed to need meat with it, but for some reason I felt guilty. And one of my exes, when we used to go out for dinner, I used to always feel drawn towards getting a steak, a beautiful juicy steak. And she would say, "Oh, why don't you pick something else?" And I sort of felt guilty, and I felt, oh, I guess it's not really ladylike to want to chomp into a big steak. But now I know why, because I was meant to feel like that. Um, so well, so my friends, yeah, they couldn't keep up the keto thing, and I didn't really try because once again I wasn't trying to lose a lot of weight, and that was their main thing. I had no idea about the other benefits, and I think it was around about that time in the 90s that uh, ketosis was it was dangerous and meat's bad and all that other stuff. So I didn't eat as much meat as I probably would have liked. Um, so um, last year I met a woman who's now my ex. I've had a few, but she used to get rashes over her body, and she knew it was from food, but she was trying to work out what it was and what things she needed to cut out. And she introduced me to oxalates. I'd never heard of that word before, had no idea. So we were trying to work out, and I thought, oh, I want to get a bit healthier. My weight, I think I was 85 kilos at my top weight, which I think is about 170 pounds. But I'm only 5'4", so it didn't sit well with me. I wanted to lose a bit and just be as healthy as I could. So I started YouTubing these oxalates because I thought she was being a bit paranoid. It's like, this all sounds a bit weird. But, I saw them, Sally Norton and all the rest. And that's when I accidentally came across Ken Berry. And from there, Chafee, this strange fellow called Dave Mack, and all the rest of them. So I thought, wow, carnivore diet. That's intriguing. And the more I got into it, of course, the more it made sense. But at first, it was like, vegetables are unhealthy. What's all this? Fruit? I knew fruit had a lot of fructose, but it was the vegetables that got me the most because I didn't really, obviously, as I said, oxalates, lectins, all that sort of stuff, didn't know about them. And um, so the deeper I dove, the more it made sense. And I thought, oh, I might give this a try. And then my ex dumped me in the beginning of June, I think. And I thought, oh, this is great. But I said to myself, don't go back to the donuts and the cheesecakes and everything. And I think carnivore has really helped me because I don't handle heartbreak well, right? But this time around, I tried to stick to it as much as I could, and I think that really helped me. So, still have the odd drink, and I'm not an angel by any means, but my face used to be a lot rounder as well. So it's this is really good. Had this lump on my face, other side, and I've had a few things cut off from my face because I'm so fair. And I thought, oh, I don't want to go to the doctor again and, you know, have it taken out, whatever. But it's gone. It's gone. So that's
So just to clarify, you said you had a number of things on your face. Those were sun exposure kind of things,
yeah, yeah.
but the latest one just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, I actually scratched it and started bleeding, and so I just tried to not touch it. And a couple of weeks or something, it just disappeared. I thought, oh, that's weird. So, but that's great because I thought it was ugly, you know. So that's good. Um, but yeah, so I've been on trying carnivore, you know, failing a few times since early June, I would say. Um, but yeah, mostly it's great. I totally understand the benefits of it. You know.
And so in that time since June, you've lost some weight, um, and obviously that issue has gone from your skin on your face. What other
Mm.
things have you noticed? Like you mentioned depression. Has your mood lifted at all?
Yeah, yeah, it has. It has. I was getting better with that before going carnivore, to be honest. But I think there's working through issues and so forth. But yeah, like, and I used to suffer a bit of anxiety, and during the lockdowns and everything, I would start to get panic attacks. I said to myself, "Gee, you can't live like this, you know." But all that sort of stuff has gone away. I do. I can be a bit of a hothead, depending on what's going on, but I can sort of calm myself down much quicker. Um, and the like I love bread and, you know, pasta, pastry. But now when I eat a good meal, there's obviously no bloating. It's I just feel great, and I don't need to have a Bex and a good lie down in the afternoons now. Like sometimes I'd have a nap, and that's enjoyable. Like I'm not knocking it, but it's sort of wasting the day. But I've got the energy to go through the day now. So um, I haven't, you know, I'm not one of these who had an autoimmune disease to cure or anything major, but it's definitely shown the benefits with this.
Awesome. So, um, what is a day of eating like for you? Like, are you eating once a day, twice a day? Still doing three?
No, it's usually about two, and maybe with a little snack like a tin of tuna or something small. I cannot sit down and have a huge meal, and that does me. I can't eat that much, so it's usually two two meals with a perhaps a snack, as I say, like tin of tuna or leftover steak or whatever I've got. But I can't do OMAD. No, no, and I can't see myself fasting either. So no.
So with that, you mentioned you love bread and pasta and stuff like that, but when you have been eating that way, the the kind of cravings for the bread and the pasta, is it reduced? It's not the same as it has been in the past?
Oh yeah, I haven't. Sometimes at work, if I've been slack, I'll get raisin toast. You know, not often, but yeah, my cravings have gone right down. I mean, I love bread. I adore bread, but I haven't, apart from a few breakfasts at work, I haven't bought any for home. Haven't bought cheesecake. I adore cheesecake. Um, so yeah, it has helped with cravings. Yeah, yeah, it's a real thing. Yeah, it
And
is.
so regarding work, has being on carnivore helped you in any way at work, or does it make it more difficult because people saying, "What are you eating? Why are you eating a steak for lunch?" or something like that, or like,
I was having bacon and eggs for lunch one day, and a friend of mine said, "Oh, that's an unusual lunch. What are you doing?" And I told her, and she says, "Oh, I eat a fair bit of meat, but she also eats veggies and stuff." I've told a few people at work, and they either change the subject or they're just not interested, or I could never give up my carbs. It's a mix between, yeah, I don't think we want to stay on this subject, or um, cholesterol, or it's like, no, I just could not do that. So there's no interest in trying it. Even when I've said I've watched all these YouTubes and all these people are curing this, and the other thing, but they don't seem to want to join in the fun. So, um,
I
yeah.
I kind of liken this a little bit to like someone really beautiful or someone really muscly walks into the room, and everyone's like, "How did you do that?" And they said, "Well, I changed the way I eat, and I ate this very strict regime diet, and I go to the gym
Mm.
every morning, and I do all this stuff." And it's like people instantly like, "Yeah, I'm out. Looks good, but I'm out." And carnivore is kind of the same, It's like, "You're looking so good. You you're feeling so healthy. What are you doing?" You tell them, and it's like, "Yeah, I'm out." I still want to be able to drink my wine and eat my bread and whatever.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I mean, even you know, I say even going a lot lower carb, you don't have to do the lion diet or anything, and it still doesn't seem to. And when I say that, actually vegetables aren't that healthy for you in big doses, they, it's like, nah, Jeannie's lost it again. But and my best mate, she showed me these vegan videos, about the environment and the animals, and she had me sucked in, but I knew I couldn't go vegan. I just knew I couldn't. But she had me totally um, sucked into that narrative. Uh, I know better now. But yeah, people look. Even I've been naughty. It's hard to give up foods that really taste good. Um, and people talk about food pleasure. Like you have to enjoy what you eat. Like Um, but a fresh cooked steak is just wonderful. But it's you have to enjoy your food. Like if people said that oh, I don't know, the Brussels sprouts, if there was proof that Brussels sprouts were actually life saving, etc., that'd be a hard gig to follow, right? But the delicious steak is just unreal. You know. Um, but I don't think you need to deprive yourself of food pleasure. But luckily, like people who don't like meat at all, I feel sorry for them because yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, it would be very difficult in that case, but yeah, I'm just trying to imagine a Brussels sprout in any way being.
It's funny,
I mean,
because it was only recently that I learned to like Brussels sprouts, but roasted um, butter and balsamic vinegar actually. So um,
yeah, I think the hint about the Brussels sprouts is the fact that you have to add so many things to it to make it palatable. Probably, if just skipping the Brussels sprout is the best idea.
that's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Depression, anxiety is better. You're kind of not as maybe not as quick to get into I guess you described as a hot head kind of situation. Um,
I can get on my soapbox about things,
yeah,
but I guess I can calm myself down because there's, I mean, as we all know, with the sugars and carbs, your um, emotions and whatever's going on in your body are all over the place, the ups and downs. It's a horrible feeling, and that triggers um, not the want, I guess, but you just have less patience with things, and you get irritable and all the rest of it. So that's
yeah.
good.
much easier to get hangry when you're eating carbs, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. It's amazing how long I can go without wanting another snack, and I don't think about it, as people say, and it's great. I mean, going out to dinner and so forth. It's I don't want to crucify it because it is pleasurable, right? It's a nice thing to do. Um, but it's like the old thing: how much do you value your health? And I guess people, as we know, people will take the pills instead of changing their diet, and that's how much we've been addicted to all this stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
I recently, well, not recently, probably a year ago or something, came off my thyroxine. I just weaned myself off because I had a thyroid thing, not major, but um, and a friend of mine, she was really worried. She said, "Oh, maybe some of it's still in your system, and that's why you're okay." And she was really worried about me. Um, and I said, "No, I'm not going back on it. I'm fine. Why should I?" You know. So I also developed asthma in my early 30s. I don't know why, it just suddenly came on, and that's been a real pain in the you know what. Um, but I used to be on a preventer and a puffer, but I've knocked out the preventer because I have to go to the doctor for that. So I just get a puffer from the chemist. But definitely um, cutting down sugars, alcohol helps with that because all that stuff triggers that for sure.
So
Um,
like an attack where you'd need to use your puffer, are they less frequent now?
yeah, 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 yeah. And I definitely noticed that when I fall off the wagon and be a bit naughty. I can notice the asthma stuff. Yeah, yeah. But I haven't told my doctor. I have no intention of seeing a doctor about anything. I don't measure. I don't weigh myself. I don't count calories, of course, and I don't worry about my labs. I just go by how I feel, because I don't want to go to a doctor. I want to avoid them like the plague. So, yeah.
Yeah, same. I a few months ago I was in hospital and I was a little bit concerned that I was going to be like admitted to the hospital and have to stay overnight. And
Mm.
my concern about it was not that, oh, I'll have to, this will be boring or I don't want to be stuck in a hospital or something like that. It was, if I'm here, they're going to give me hospital food and I'm going to have no choice but to eat. It's,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Or in my case, it's like don't push anything else onto me. Wink, wink. Um, you know, last few years, not having any of that. So I've got enough
yeah.
pressure at work around that. So
So what's your plan future wise? Is it to continue to eat like this? Is it get kind of more strict with yourself on carnivore, or is it to get maybe to relax a little bit? What are your plans?
I actually want to be better at it because I've been naughty few too many times, I think. So I actually want to tighten that up. I'd love to do a YouTube channel again. I was a tarot reader on YouTube actually, but it it didn't seem to take off, and I got a permanent job, so I just didn't have time. So I killed that. Um, but I just don't think I'll have time to start YouTube again, unfortunately. Um, but we'll see. Who knows? But yeah, I want to um, be more strict with myself. I'm doing pretty well, but yeah, just yeah.
So you there's no going back.
Oh no, no, no. Why would you like? It amazes me each time I see people healing themselves in so many ways. It's like it really is. Well, it shouldn't be a miracle because this is how we are supposed to eat, But it just blows my mind each time I see somebody. So no going back to bad habits or really bad habits. Yeah, no
No,
way.
nice. Um,
I want to, like, it's yeah, it's just not worth it, is it?
mm, so do you have any social media or any way people can contact you if they want to reach out?
Well, my email's on the screen. I am on Facebook and Instagram. If people want to chat, I'm happy to, make new friends and have a chat. That's all good.
Sure. I'll link to those in the description if that's okay.
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
Awesome. So, Jeannie, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story with us. I really appreciate it.
No worries, Dave. My pleasure. Thank you.